Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our live coverage of the 51st QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup here on Bowl TV. Round 2 getting started for the women. Bowled 8 games yesterday, another 8 today, 8 more tomorrow to close out qualifying for our first cut in the tournament. Start off this morning with Portugal, Puerto Rico, and Australia on 19 and 20. And over on 21 and 22, Northern Ireland, Brazil, and Macau, China. And the women on the lanes first this morning. The men will be on the lanes at 1 p.m. local time here in Las Vegas. That's in about 5 hours. Coming into today, let's take a look at our standings for the women. One of our live stream guests yesterday, Almi Guerra of the Dominican Republic, 2-time champion here at the World Cup, is the leader by just a single pin. Almi had a high game of 246 yesterday, 1738 for 8 games, which is a 217.25 average. Almi won the World Cup in 2010 and 2011 and finished second in 2012. So Almi looking to become the first woman to win this event 3 times. A couple other women who have the chance to do that as well, who are in the field this week. Second place currently belongs to our defending champion of this tournament, which is Clara Guerrero of Colombia. Clara yesterday had a high game of 238, a total of 1737, which is a 217.13 average. Clara, a very consistent day yesterday after a 160 start. Put together some nice games, very consistent effort for Clara in the first round yesterday. Third place currently belongs to Geraldine Ung of Singapore. She had a high game of 240. Total of 1714, an average of 214.25 for Geraldine. Fourth place belongs to Sweden. Isabel Hulten. 243 was her high game. 1711 her total, and 213.88 average. Sitting in 5th place coming into today is 2-time champion of the World Cup, Shannon Pluhowski of the United States. High game of 278 for Shannon. 1702 was her total and a 212.75 average. Only 36 pins separating 1st from 5th after the opening round. Our cut position, 24th place, and we will have that cut after 24 games, so just a third of the way through. But 24th place currently belongs to Helga Di Benedetto of Italy with a 193.5 average after the opening 8 games. You'll be able to find all the information on the QubicaAMF World Cup at QubicaAMF.com. And you can click the Bowling World Cup button at the top of that page. There's live scoring and results, lane assignments, lane pattern information, all available for you at QubicaAMF.com, and click the World Cup button at the top of the page. Just joining us, we're underway. Game number 1. Round 2 qualifying for the women here at the 51st QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup at Sam's Town in Las Vegas. I'm Lucas Wiseman of Bowl TV. Thanks for joining us this morning here in Vegas. Afternoon or evening, wherever you are around the world. recap the format for everybody. For those just tuning in, we bowled 8 games yesterday in round 1, 8 games today in round 2, another 8 games in round 3 tomorrow. And that's when we make our first cut. We're going to go down to 24 men and 24 women after tomorrow. And then on Wednesday morning, we will have the round of 24, another 8 games. And that will lead to another cut to the top 8 men and top 8 women. The top 8 will bowl 7 games of round robin match play, and the top 3 will make the stepladder finals. And that will be on Thursday. First game yesterday was a little bit low scoring, and looking like that might be the case again this morning. Kind of looking across the house. I can see Clara, she's right to the right of us, and she's not thrown a double yet through 5 frames, but she's clean. Couple frames left here, game number one. We'll have 7 more games to go after this one. So a long road ahead yet in qualifying here at the World Cup. Live scoring is available. You can see the frame by frame for any pair in the house. You can go to QubicaAMF.com, click the World Cup button and find it there, or to get there directly, you can go to onlinescore.QubicaAMF.com/World Cup. Again, that is onlinescore.QubicaAMF.com/World Cup to find the live scoring. Stephanie Martins from Brazil with a crossover strike. Off to a pretty decent start today. 175 in the 8th. Working on that Brooklyn. Can get to 235 here in game one, which would be a really great start on the fresh. Good finish here for Baker from Australia, 3 strikes in a row. She can get to 196. Now Stephanie Martins, Brazil going to be at 215 with a strike on her fill ball here. Be the highest game on our featured pairs.
Elle a tout fait là.
All right, game 2 quickly getting started. We've got Slovenia, France, and Venezuela joining us for this game. And over on 19 and 20, it's going to be Germany, Dominican Republic, and Panama. Almigetta with the stone cold 8-pin on lane 19. She kicks off game 2, our two-time champion and tournament leader after the first round. But we have a new leader now. After 9 games, Shannon Pluhowski of the United States has moved into the lead at 1970, 218.89 average. Let's see what Shannon bowled that first game this morning. 268 for Pluhowski helps her jump into the top spot. Second place now belongs to Geraldine Ong of Singapore with 1967. Almigetta sits in third at 1941. Clara Guerrero is fourth at 1929, and Isabel Hilton of Sweden is fifth at 1927. So, big move in the first game with Shannon Pluhowski jumping from fifth to first after the opening game of round 2. Pluhowski with 268 moves her up to the top spot with a 218.89 average. Almy cleans up the spare. So spare strike, spare for Almy. Let's see what Almy bowled in her first game this morning. She drops from first to third. She shot 203, so she didn't bowl a bad game, but standings were pretty tightly bunched at the top after yesterday. So 203, good game, but players behind her made up some ground and passed her in that opening game this morning. Nice 4-9 conversion there for Kempchens of Germany. Picks up the split in the fourth. Great game brewing here for Jacques of France. Strike spare 4-bagger to start for her. She's down in 17th place after 9 games. Almigetta trying to get something going this game. She's struck both times on this right lane, but the left lane is causing her some trouble here this morning in game 2. Lane 20 right now. Looks pretty good. So she stays perfect on the right lane, needs to figure out that left lane. And here is Jacques from France working on 4 strikes in a row on lane 21. And the 7 does not go to end the string. Isabel Hultzen of Sweden is off to the right of our featured pairs. Actually, you might see her coming into your picture on the far right. There she is. She's bowling very well this game, and I just put the jinx on her, unfortunately. She had only missed once in 8 frames before that shot, but she can still strike out for 256 in the 10th frame if she makes the spare. We've got quite a few people watching this morning, almost 700 viewers. Let us know in the chat where you're watching from and maybe who you're cheering for this morning. As we watch Panama, Germany, Dominican, Slovenia, France, and Venezuela here in Game 2. Almy looking for 3 in a row, and she's a perfect 4 for 4 on that right lane. So we've got Sweden, USA, Italy, Romania. It's got some folks in Holland watching. Panama. Great game for France. As Jacques steps up in the 9th. Comes up light again on that lane and leaves a 7-pin. Second 7-pin in a row on that left lane. Watching in Ireland. And Almy's putting it together now after a slow start the first 5 frames. She's a perfect 4 for 4 in her last 4 frames. And Almy can still strike out for 238 this game. Got some folks watching from China. Czech Republic. England checking in as well. A big double there for the German. Kempton's with the strike and first shot in the 10th. She's had a good back half of this game, double spared double. And can still get to 200 with a couple more strikes. There's a double for Andrade of Panama. She can get to 196 this game if she could throw a couple more. Someone checking in from Finland watching. Azim watching from Egypt. Tough break there, split in the 10th for Jacques. And if she opens here, gets one of them, she'll be at 213. If she can find a way to make it, she can still get to 224. It's a makeable split. Difficult, but makeable. Probably put the percentage at 10 to 20% that she'll make it. And she's going to give it a go and see what happens. pulled it a little too much and doesn't get either of them for 212. So we'll see how Almiguera finishes up here. Close out game 2 on our featured pairs. Almi had been perfect on that lane, but leaves the 10. So she's looking at 217 as a max score. So 217 for Almi. As game 2 comes to a close. All right, game 3 quickly getting started here. Mexico, Jordan, and Catalonia on 21 and 22. And on 19 and 20, we'll have New Caledonia, Slovakia, and Belgium. All right, updated standings, and Shannon Pluhowski still in the lead. Team USA member at 22:05, 10 games. Geraldine Ung of Singapore is at 21:78 in second place. Third place, Clara Guerrero of Colombia at 21:75. Isabel Hulton of Sweden now in fourth at 21:72, and Almigueta of the Dominican Republic drops to fifth at 21:58. Sandra Gongora of Mexico, 21:41, sixth place. She's on our featured pairs this game. She'll be up in just a moment on lane 21. Seventh place is Misaki Mukatani of Japan at 21:14. Siti Safaya of Malaysia is at 21:11 in eighth place. Stephanie Martins of Brazil at 20:66, and Milky Ung of Hong Kong is tied with Stephanie at 20:66, so a tie in ninth place. So if you're just joining us this morning, you're watching Game 3 of Round 2 women's qualifying here at the 2015 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. Moving right along here in our qualifying process. At the end of today, we will be 2/3 of the way through qualifying with one more round to go before we make our first cut. Men will be on the lanes coming up this afternoon in about 4 hours from now. And tomorrow, the men bowl first and the women bowl in the afternoon. Tomorrow's our first cut day to the top 24 in both divisions. Wednesday morning is our round of 24. Be a short day, just a couple of hours of live streaming that day. And then Thursday in the morning, we'll have the round of 8 match play, followed by the stepladder finals right here on Bowl TV. The stepladder finals will be the best time to tune in during the week, and that will be on Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time here in Las Vegas. And I believe if you go to youtube.com/BowlTV and you look at the upcoming live events, it should give you the time, start time in your location. So it will change that start time so you know what time it starts where you are. But it's 12:30 p.m. Pacific time is when the finals are supposed to start on Thursday. And in Europe, Central European time, that would, I believe, be 9:30 p.m. So 21:30 Central European time on Thursday would be the stepladder finals. Shannon Pluhowski of the United States currently leading the tournament. She was in 5th place coming into today, but a couple of big games have moved her up into the top spot this morning. Shannon starting with 268 this morning. Moved her into the top spot where she currently resides. Pluhowski today, 268, 235 for 503, and that has helped her take the lead by 27 pins on the field. Well, so far this game, New Caledonia is the star in the featured pairs. She's got 4 strikes in a row working. Sandy Gongora also bowling well. Working on a double, going into the last couple of frames. Sandy can strike out for 238 this game. .191 for Slovakia. Belgium at 168. And Gervolino of New Caledonia can strike out for 224 as she will get her ready to step up on lane 20. Sandy Gongora from Mexico, right side of your screen. Tickles the 7 but doesn't get it to go down, and she'll be at 206 max. Oh no, big split for Gervolino. She'll have just enough to get over the 200 threshold this game.
savais que je joue comme une merde. De toute façon, c'était un miracle hier.
there's the whistle beginning game number 4. We have Malaysia, Estonia, and Philippines on 19 and 20. 21 and 22, Ukraine, Lithuania, and Mauritius. Looks like Shannon Pluhowski's still in the lead at 24.07. Clara Guerrero moves up to second at 23.88. Isabel Hulton of Sweden at 23.85. Geraldine Ung of Singapore at 23.69. And Ali Gata of the Dominican Republic rounds out the top 5 at 23.51 after 11 games. So standings updated pretty fast. First frame not even done, and we already have the updated standings after game 11. And this is our 4th game of this block, game 12 overall. You can see Shannon Pluhowski, the tournament leader, off to the far right of your screen on 23 and 24 this game. For those just joining us, this is the QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup Round 2 qualifying. Game number 4 of 8 for the women. Men will be on the lanes this afternoon in about 3.5 hours. Tomorrow is round 3 qualifying, the final 8 games before we make our first cut. Men will bowl first tomorrow, the women will bowl second. And then top 24 advance. Wednesday morning, we'll have the round of 24. That'll cut us to the top 8 for match play on Thursday, followed by the semifinals and finals Thursday afternoon here in Las Vegas. Here in game 4, we've got Philippines, Malaysia, and Estonia, as well as Ukraine, Mauritius, and Lithuania. Lisa Del Rosario of the Philippines with the front 3 to start. Turns it into the front 4 with the kick on the 9-pin. Shannon Plahowski off to our right, our tournament leader. Open double to start game 4.
What lane are you?
We're live now, 19 and 20, 21 and 22. And joining us is David Makok from Bermuda.
Yes.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And Lisa Del Rosario of the Philippines up right now. Another strike for the front 6. And David had a pretty good day yesterday, sitting in 7th place. That's 218.25 average.
Yeah.
Yesterday went pretty well. How do you think things went yesterday, and what went right for you?
Things went good for me yesterday. I threw.
Just move the microphone a little bit closer. There we go.
Sorry, I
That's
threw
okay.
IQ Tour solid early, and then I went to the IQ Tour 30. We drilled that up the night of the practice. Me and Tim Mack from Storm. He's been helping me a lot. Been helping all the Bermuda guys, and big shout out to all those guys if they're listening to me from Bermuda. And it's just been a good set. Just got to stay focused and just keep on doing what I got to do.
Still early, only 8 games done, and we still have another 8 games today and 8 games tomorrow before the first cut is made. And I would assume that you learned some stuff yesterday that's going to help you today, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think the lanes are going to be tighter today, so I just got to get my ball surfaces right, and just make good shots. And spares are the key. Spares are going to break you or not break you. You know what I mean?
Yes, spares always important, especially in the long format tournament like this where the games add up. And
yes, most definitely.
And we're joined by David Makok of Bermuda, who is in 7th place in the men's division currently. And tell me a little bit about bowling in Bermuda, because the only thing I really know about Bermuda is that it's a little island and all the hurricanes go there, it seems like.
We have, we build our houses out of very like brick block. So we're 21 miles, we're 21 square miles, and basically we only have one building we really train out of. That's called Work Lanes. Shout out to Work Lanes. And then we have one down south side, but the main one is Work Lanes, and that's the one we train out of. Antoine Jones is one of our coaches. Dean Lightbourne's one of the good players. All my teammates. But
how many lanes do you have there?
only 24 lanes.
That's not so bad for a small island like Bermuda.
Yeah.
To have 24 lanes. It's a pretty good number, I think.
Yeah. And we keep up with all the, the technology and stuff. We have the Kegel machine and stuff like that. So we can put patterns into the machine. Shout out to Lamar that does the lanes, and Damon too.
Sounds like you guys have a pretty nice setup there.
Yeah, we have a good team. We have guys that want to be out here and compete in the world stage. We went Dubai with Tim Mack in December. Came 25th out of 42 teams or something like that. So,
right, I remember I was there in the World Men's Championships, and very talented crew. Lisa leaves the 10 pin to end her string of strikes at 6. But
yeah, she's throwing bad attentions. Throwing a hammer ball, I think.
It's working out pretty well for her here in this game.
Yes.
But yeah, you guys had a really good showing in the World Championships for kind of a small country, little known about for bowling, but you got some guys who really throw the ball very well.
Yeah.
And had some help from Tim, I think, and that helps out, I'm sure.
Yep. We're trying to get him, trying to work with him still, trying to get us back to the island. He loves the island. So if you've never been Bermuda, you need to go.
It sounds like a nice place. I haven't been there.
Nice. If you like beaches and stuff like that, it's very.
How's the water? Pretty. Is the water warm there, or is it a little cool? It's nice.
Warm. Right now it's a little cold. Yeah. But in the summer months like June, July, August, September, and stuff like that, that's the time you want to be there.
All right,
a lot of cruise boats come there, and
summer in Bermuda sounds good.
Horseshoe Bay is the spot you want to be.
All right, I'm going to put that on my list of places to visit for vacation.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. I know there are a lot of cruise ships that go there from,
definitely.
from the United States.
Definitely.
So you said you're going to make some changes to some surfaces today. And,
yes.
Do you have some good feelings about today? How was the fresh for you yesterday?
The fresh was brutal for me. The first 2 games.
It seems like it's that way for a lot of people.
178. And then after that, I went on a string. So.
Yeah, you must have, because you get to a 218 average. Let's see. I'm gonna click on your scores, see if it comes up.
Yeah.
Went 178, 169, 246, 224, 201, 255, 257, 216. I'd say that's a pretty good day's work.
Yeah.
We just cut off those first 2 games. You're probably in the lead.
I know. But the first 2 games, I was throwing a different ball. I was throwing a haywire early, and I didn't really like it like at first.
Well, that's good. It's important to learn from
Yeah.
your mistakes and your experiences, and now you know what not to do, I guess, on the
Yeah,
fresh. So
yeah.
it's a matter of just trying something different
Yes.
this afternoon.
You got to try different things. If you're not willing to try different things, it doesn't make sense. So what's next for you? What's next for you?
We're going to Abu Dhabi again for the World Women's Championships.
it's nice out
in
there.
December. Yeah, it's very nice. I was my first visit this past December to Abu Dhabi and really enjoyed it. It's a nice
Right.
bowling center, a nice city, lots of good food.
Oh, yeah.
It was a nice trip. I'm sure you enjoyed it as well. Or did-
Yeah, I liked it out there.
It's a beautiful bowling center. It's great.
Oh yes, that is world class out there.
Yep, for sure.
If anybody's never been there, recommend that too. That is world class. They really take care of the national team out there too.
Yes, they do.
They do.
And they've got a new coach, Mika Koivuniemi, is coaching the UAE.
Is
so
here
that's-
this week.
It's pretty nice addition to their team.
Yes, they got Shaka.
Yep.
They call him Shaka here. He's one of the best left-handers. He's very smooth. He's here bowling. Got a good feel here. Got some talented players here.
What did you think about the lane conditions here this week?
I think they're playable. They're very playable. You just got to make shots. You got to stay down on the shot. Execute.
We have people from all over the world watching. Someone in Kosovo says hello. In Netherlands, Estonia.
Yes.
Someone says, "Hey, David," in the chat. Not sure who it is, but we've got some fans out there, I guess. I know when Tim came on yesterday,
Yes.
he had some of the folks in Bermuda were watching, and they were giving him some shout-outs in the chat.
Right.
Looks like Bulanova from Russia off to our right is bowling very well this game, a spare and 7 strikes in a row. There's some real talented players in this tournament, isn't there?
Yeah. It's some good. It's very nice. It's good people here.
And how many times have you bowled the World Cup? Is this your first
This
time?
is my
or-
first time here, but
Okay.
I bowled a lot of tournaments. Next 2 weeks I go to World Series and bowl.
Oh, wow, nice.
So I'll be back out in Reno in another 2 weeks. So I've been
you're-
building that for the last 3 years, trying to get more exposure, and that's it.
So why did you decide to bowl the World Series?
Because that's where you could get more international players are there. You got the best in the world there. It's just not American people. You have all the different countries there, and you could sit in the same place, and then you could just, everything's in the arena. You don't have to go nowhere, nothing. And that's the best players in the world. So if you want to be there, that's where you need to be.
So yeah, I
need
guess
to
if
be
your
there.
goal is to be one of the best, you gotta
You need to
compete
play-
against
you need
the
to play with the
best.
best.
Yeah.
And you need a good coach too.
Well, I hope you find one. Tim Mack is giving him a hard time here. But we're live here in Samstown in Las Vegas. I'm
Yes.
Lucas Wiseman, along with David Makok of Bermuda, who's sitting in for a
Have
bit.
you? How many times have you been here, Lucas?
To Samstown or to
Yeah.
Las Vegas?
No, Samstown.
Samstown, I've been here many times. I've bowled here before in tournaments.
Nice.
Back when they had the high roller, I won a little bit of money in my
Ah,
day bowling.
nice.
Don't bowl too much anymore, but
Right,
it's 3
right.
games a week. But
Yeah.
I spend too much time watching bowling than I do
Yeah.
actually on the lanes.
Yep.
But Samstown is a nice facility. It's they've got a new lane surface here, new scoring system.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm actually building this center.
But it is
Usually all
always
the tournaments out South Point, so
yeah.
this
It's
is
always
new.
convenient though to have the bowling center and the hotel and the restaurants
Yes.
all together instead of
It
having
makes
to,
it so easier to
Yeah.
just go there. You can rest up before your squad. You don't have to go nowhere. Usually, sometimes, like a lot of tournaments like Popcorn, we have to catch a bus everywhere.
Yep.
And
you end up spending an hour a day on a bus.
yeah, but the only thing we're far from the strip from here.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah. Shot.
Ziti Safaya
Yeah.
with 4 strikes in a row.
She's throws the ball good.
Yep, a lot of the Malaysians are very talented. She's one of them. It's a very strong bowling country, is Malaysia. And we've got Mauritius on lane 21.
Yep.
Covers up the spare, a little up there on that one.
19, Leon 19. Just got a good game going.
Yep, Lisa Del Rosario of the Philippines. We talked to B-Boy Rivera of the Philippines yesterday on the live stream. It's his, one of his best friends and teammates. It's Lisa.
Yeah.
They've been bowling about the same number of years. Came up together in the bowling program, and Philippines has got a good history in this event.
Yeah.
Pang Nepomuceno won the men's title 4 times in 4 different decades
Wow.
for the Philippines.
Nice.
And Lisa can go 255
Nice.
this game. So do you have a lot of people who bowl in Bermuda? Do you have,
We have
some
a good-
leagues and stuff?
Yeah, we have a lot of leagues. We have leagues Monday to Saturday night. We have a sport pattern on Thursday night and Saturday night. So we build on different conditions. We change the pattern every about 10 weeks. I think we should change it every 6 weeks, but that's what we do every 10 weeks because, you got the amateur bowlers there that, don't really know too much about different land conditions and stuff. But that's what we do, and, that's where all my mates and stuff, we hang out together, we drink, we bowl, we just have a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure that you spend a lot of time bowling in Bermuda. I mean, I guess it's a small island, so you get the beaches, and I mean, I don't know what else there is to
everybody
do.
Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah,
You could be walking down the street, and you would say, "Hey, David, what's up?" And you'd be like, "Everybody knows everybody."
How many people live in Bermuda?
It's about 60 to 70,000 people.
So it's pretty small.
Yeah, small. It's very small. You could drive from St. George's to Dockyard in about an hour, less than an hour, if you do the speed limit. The speed limit is supposed to be 21 miles an hour, but everybody goes a little bit faster than that. It's crazy. Everybody's got mopeds and stuff like that. It's way different. It's way different.
Yeah, it sounds like a cool place.
It's cool. Everybody's friendly.
And what do you do for a living?
I have my own trucking business.
Okay.
I have a guy working for me right now, taking care of the business.
That's nice. Have your own business
And
allows
then
you
I,
the flexibility
yeah.
to be able to bowl if you want to.
And I was doing subcontracting work for a company, a cable company. So, I do little hustles on the side and stuff like that right now.
Sounds like it keeps you busy and allows you the flexibility to go bowl some tournaments if you want to.
That's why I liked it. I like it. I could go whenever I want. But it's not easy down there. It's very expensive down there. Of course, the living is very expensive in Bermuda.
Yeah.
If everybody's on the air, if they're listening, if they've been there, they understand what I'm talking about. It's very expensive.
Yeah, everything has to be shipped in or flown in.
Everything has to be shipped in. Yeah.
I think. Energy to power tends to be pretty expensive on islands.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Yeah, so it's
like a one-bedroom apartment, you're looking at $1,800 to $2,000 a month. Some are $1,500. You got
expensive.
2-bedroom apartments going for $2,000, $2,500.
Well, that's the price you pay for living on a beautiful island, right?
It's crazy. It's very expensive. But our wages are higher than average.
Yeah, they would have to be, otherwise you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
You have to live on the beach in a tent.
And some people do that.
Yeah,
but not a lot.
Shannon Plahowski, the tournament leader, 201 that game.
That's all right. You gotta be patient.
Yep.
There's only one game. 190s, 200s.
Bulanova from Russia ended up at 254
Yep.
after she opened in the 10th frame. Tyrone in the chat says, nice to see an island guy doing well. Well done, David. Shout out from the Bahamas.
Thank you. You got a Bahamas team here.
Yep.
You got the coach, Malik. I think that's her name. I don't think she's here. She's not here at this tournament, but big shout out to the Bahamas team.
So what are your impressions overall of the World Cup so far? It's your first go of it here, and what are your thoughts?
It's nice. Everything's smooth. Everything's on time. The scoring system, everything is running very smoothly.
It's a little different not traveling with your team and kind of being here as an individual.
It's different. It's different. It's very different.
It's good though. You get to meet a lot of new people and make some new friends.
Yeah, make some new friends. Everybody's friendly. Everybody, the old Bulls. So
yeah, everybody has that common ground to be able to talk about. And
yeah.
looks like game 5 getting ready to get started here. Finland, Bahamas,
UAE,
Wales, UAE, Japan, and Bulgaria, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a strong men's team in Bermuda.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you guys will continue to practice and get better and look to the future World Championships to improve upon your showing in the last year in December. Well, David, thanks for sitting in, and good luck today, and hopefully you can get off to a little bit better start tonight.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, one shot at a time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you down the road. right, moving along with qualifying here, game number 5 underway. Finland, Bahamas, Wales, Japan, UAE, and Bulgaria on our featured pairs here this game. See if we can get you some updated standings after 12 games. We've got a new leader. Clara Guerrero moves into the lead. The Colombian, our defending champion, is now in the top spot with a total of 26-16, a 2:18 average for Clara. Second place belongs to Shannon Pluhowski of Team USA, 26:08, 217.33 average for Pluhowski. So just an 8-pin advantage for Clara on Shannon. Third place, Isabel Holton of Sweden, 25.85, 215.42 average. Sandra Gongora of Mexico sits in fourth at 25.83. That's a 215.25 average. And Geraldine Ung of Singapore is fifth at 25.69, a 214.08 average. And at the halfway point of qualifying, 24th place, which is our cut position, is currently Olena Roshenko of Ukraine with a 191.58 average. Good morning to all of you watching who are participating in our chat room here on Bowl TV. Appreciate you joining us this morning here in Las Vegas. I'm sure it's afternoon or evening, depending on what time zone you're in around the world. But we appreciate you joining us today. Be an interesting week here on the women's side for sure. We've got two women who are trying to become the first to win the World Cup 3 times. That would be Almi Guerra of the Dominican Republic and Shannon Pluhowski of the United States. Almi won this event in 2010 and 2011. Shannon Pluhowski won the event in 2002 and 2004. Oh, you're watching live coverage of the QubicaAMF World Cup here on Bowl TV, and Judy's got a special guest with us for a couple of minutes. Judy, take it away.
Hi, Lucas. Morning, everybody. Sorry I wasn't with you yesterday. I've had this stinking cold.
That's all right. Hope you're feeling better today, Judy.
I'm feeling a lot better today. This morning, I've got with me Zayn Carlson from New Zealand. Now, Zayn is a very special bowler because Zayn has cerebral palsy. Zayn, how does that affect your bowling?
I don't really. It definitely affects my balance, and so I can't use one side of my body basically. So it's very hard for me to keep up with how to bowl normally and stuff with other bowlers.
So, have you adapted your style to suit your disability?
Yeah, like from the first coach I've had, he really helped me out and just showed me the way how I bowl, and then I just kind of just worked out what was my pros and cons that I could work out, and I feel like I can compete with everyone now.
Well, certainly seeing your scores here, and you've also had some great scores back home, haven't you? Tell us about them.
Yes, I completed in the Australian Nationals, and I did shoot 300 and to qualify for the Masters.
Very nice.
Is that your only 300?
No, I've had two official one in practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I won World Cup qualifying to come here. I won by 176 pins.
Oh, crikey! And there were some cool bowlers down in New Zealand.
Yeah, so I was pretty happy with that accomplishment. I'm in the national team now. So. Oh
wow! So it's very much about the ability rather than the disability.
Yeah, I work on my game every day. I work at a bowling alley, so
I was going to say, it does help when you work in a bowling centre.
Yeah, so I'm there about 7 o'clock in the morning before I open.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just practice for about 2 hours, and then I start work, and then I finish work around 5.
Yeah, and do you practice again then, or is
that
it?
No. But I do bowl league on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights at a different bowling alley. So it's very, I bowl a lot, and I feel like I'm getting a lot better.
And whereabouts in New Zealand do you live?
I live in Orewa, New Zealand, so that's north of Auckland.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it's about
That's about as far north as you can get, isn't it?
No, it's about a half an hour drive from the city. Yeah. So, and I work at Whanapro Tenton Bowling, so it's about a 10-minute drive from where I live.
And I think you told me you were going to be taking part in some special tournament later on.
Oh yeah, I'm going to the Milo All Stars in Malaysia after I competed here at the World Cup. So I'm back in New Zealand for about 2 days, and then I fly off to Singapore. Yeah, I bus from Singapore to Malaysia, and I bowl All Stars.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is that an invitational tournament, or?
No, one of my personal bowling friends, she asked me to go one year, and I went with her, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was my first international tournament, and I loved it, so I go back just about every year now. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Well, we're joined by Zayn Carlson of New Zealand, and Zayn, I have a question. When did you start bowling?
I started bowling when I was 15.
And how did you get involved?
I was just in the school, and one of my friends, he bowled league, and I was like, that sounds interesting. So I just went to a league night, and I just kept bowling from then.
So yesterday you got off to a pretty good start, 195 average. How did you find the lane conditions? Are you happy with the way you started?
It was okay, not great, but I found it pretty hard moving pair to pair. We're not really used to moving every pair, every game. So, yeah.
Well, it looked like you had a pretty steady day. A low game 174, high game 218.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad. So I've got a plan this afternoon now and see if I can capitalise.
So what are there some adjustments you're going to make today to help maybe score a little bit better than yesterday?
I've dulled some of my equipment so I can get earlier roll, and hopefully that will hopefully get that corner pin out a bit better. Yeah, I found that ball was hitting a little bit too weak. I'm very excited.
Yeah, well, I watched you bowl yesterday for a little bit, and it looked good to me. As you say, you just need those few extra pins on top to make yourself into the top 24.
Yeah. So a lot more games to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
A lot of games go, and you're
Yes.
sitting in 38th place, so certainly
That's
within distance of the
absolutely.
top 24.
Yeah.
All right, Zayn, well, good luck
Yep.
this afternoon.
Thank you,
We
guys.
appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Dom wants to take a picture of us real quick. There we go. All right, well, good luck today, and we hope to see you in the top 24.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Zayn
you,
Carlson
Zayn.
of New Zealand, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I was a bit nervous.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Tangled up.
And my fingers.
That's all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so thanks to Zayn for stopping in, and we'll be back in just a moment here on Bowl TV. All right, so we're back here, and Judy's going to stick around for a few minutes. Judy Howlett is the press room manager for the World Cup. How many years have you done the press room for the World Cup now?
I started doing the press room in 2005, but I came in 2001. That was my first World Cup as a worker for QubicaAMF, as it now is, and I was just producing the review then.
Let me just fix your mic a little bit. But you were also a player, right?
Oh yes, back in the day when I was young and fit. Yes, I played the World Cup in Mexico City. I'm not sure if you've interviewed Jeanette yet, but we certainly will do. Jeanette Baker, who was the first person to win back-to-back World Cups, and she won her second one in Mexico City in '83, and I was there. She was an absolute star, I have to say. And then I played in Seoul in South Korea in 1985, and I came runner-up in that one.
And I think we can probably tell based on your accent, but what country did you represent?
Oh, well, in those days it was Great Britain, but now we've actually split into England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, yes.
And so do you have some any certain memory that stands out over the numerous World Cups that you've been to? I know that I think probably getting to travel the world and see different places is probably right up there as a top memory, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do love travel. I am actually a trustee of a charity down in Zambia, so I go to southern Africa quite a lot. But I love traveling, and I've been to some places with bowling that, you just wouldn't go to. Even Seoul, South Korea, it's not on the real tourist trail, is it?
Not really, no.
No, but I have to say one of my favourite tournaments was Riga in 2002.
Beautiful city.
Oh, absolutely stunning. I went home and said to everybody, if you want a really nice city break for 2 or 3 days, go to Riga. We brought the tournament forward into October because they told us it was too cold in November. And then on the Saturday night, I think it was the first night of bowling, it snowed. We had about half a metre of snow. And of course here we have people from countries who have never seen snow.
Yeah.
And the hotel had these big picture windows looking out over the river Daugava to the city centre across the river, and it was just beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, you're right. You get bowlers from all over the world, 88
Yes.
countries who come to the World Cup, and a lot of them it's, maybe their first experience traveling a great
Yes.
distance, and maybe they've never seen snow. It happened in St. Petersburg
Yes,
a number of
we
years
had-
ago,
yes.
Russia. We had some snow.
Yes,
and
we did.
some of the bowlers were very excited because they had never seen snow before.
That's right, and Krasnoyarsk in Siberia,
of
where we all
course,
thought it was
yes.
going to be really cold. And actually, the first
Yeah,
few days it was
wasn't bad.
warmer than it was in London, and then we had a lot of snow on the Thursday night. That was when I went out on a trip and fell over and broke my wrist. So that
Yes.
was an experience.
Sightseeing can be dangerous sometimes.
It has taught me a lesson. I came over early here and went down to the Grand Canyon and then into Zion Park. And whenever I climb anywhere now, I am very careful to hang on to something and make sure I don't fall again.
Judy Howlett is our guest right now. She's the press room manager for the World Cup, and you have a very interesting career in back home, right? I'm fascinated by what you do for a living. Tell us about it.
Well, I don't do anything for a living anymore.
Well,
Thank
okay.
goodness, I'm retired.
Or what you did do.
Well, I used to be. The title was communications manager for a civil engineering company, but alongside that, I'm a magistrate, which is a lay judge. We don't actually get paid for doing it.
Oh, okay. But it's still interesting.
Oh
to
yes,
me.
it is very interesting. We deal with about 95% of all criminal cases in England and Wales, and we deal with. Because we always sit on a bench of 3. The maximum penalty we can give at the moment is 6 months in prison, but we tend to use community penalties and fines quite a lot more.
It seems like something you should get paid to do, though, right? Or no? Or is it a volunteer
It's
position?
it's a voluntary,
Kind of a
honorary position.
Community, help the
Yes.
community kind of service position,
And,
huh?
and part of the thing is they want ordinary, everyday people.
Sure.
So we're not legally trained, although you learn an awful lot about it over the years. And we have a legal advisor there to tell us about the law. An awful lot of it, to be honest, is just real common sense.
Sure.
And but they like people who either work or have worked for a living in ordinary, everyday jobs, so that we know what everyday life is like and can help those who are really struggling,
So having been to England a few times, I envision you wearing some kind of fancy robe and or something.
No, we have to dress smartly, and you're meant to dress in somber colours, but I don't always manage that one in the summer. But yes, it's... And in fact, when I first started, I've been on the bench for 22 years now, and when I first started, women weren't allowed to wear trousers, pants to you, but
Wow.
we are
Yeah, sure.
allowed that now. And it wasn't that long before that women had to wear hats.
Interesting. See, there's always some quirks over there.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting, and I wouldn't say it's enjoyable, because dealing with people who've committed some pretty awful crimes is not enjoyable.
Sure.
But it is very interesting and stimulating, yes.
And it's got to be a good feeling to be able to contribute to the community
Yes.
and help be a part of
definitely.
Making your community better and
Yes.
in that way. And
Yeah.
hopefully helping some people who have gone down the wrong path,
Yeah.
guide them to the right path
Yeah,
again.
I think we do. I remember most people you don't remember, to be honest. You see so many, you just don't recognise them or remember them. But there was one guy, and he had what we called a drug rehabilitation order, which meant he had been on hard drugs, and they get an awful lot of help. They have to go 4 times a week, maybe even 5 times, to a particular centre, and they talk about their problems, and they get methadone so they can get off the heroin. And it really does help people, and not everybody makes it, but this particular bloke, he was doing really well. He had a bit of a relapse, and we extended his order, and by the end he was totally clear of drugs. He'd got himself a job, he'd got himself a flat, and you thought, yep, you've turned the corner, and we've never seen him again. And I think that's
great.
fantastic.
Do you still bowl, Judy?
No, I don't.
No more bowling for you?
No, I gave up about 20 years ago, actually.
Well, maybe it's time to pick it up again.
Oh, every so often I think that, and then I look at what they do with the ball now, and I'm thinking, I couldn't do that.
The game's a little different now than when you
Gosh,
played,
yes. Oh, yes. When I played, I shot a 300, and I was only the 4th woman in Britain to do that. And nowadays, it's I won't say 10 a penny, but
Yeah, it's much more common.
Much more
Yep.
common, yes. And you see the way they release the ball and the ball, the grip and oh no, I couldn't do that.
Well, you have the opportunity to kind of, at the World Cup, to walk around and talk to people
Yes.
and hear the interesting stories, and that's got to be kind of fun, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's fantastic. And as you know, there were some amazing people here. This time last year when we were in Wrocław, I interviewed Samiana Saba, who was playing
Right.
for New Caledonia. And she said to me, because I've known her and Marine for 15 years, and I was planning a trip to New Zealand and Australia, and she said, if I hear that you've been to Australia and you have not come to see us, I shall be very cross. So I thought, okay. So I flew over to see her and Marine in New Caledonia as well. And when last year she was describing what a beautiful Pacific island
I remember
is.
that. Yeah, showing
She's-
pictures and making us very jealous.
Oh, she was absolutely right. It's stunning. You fly in. Oh, she's just coming
Yeah,
onto the
she's
lanes
coming over here
Well,
now.
and the sea is turquoise. And you can see these lovely little coral reefs, and you think, wow, it's really lovely, really lovely.
But it sounds like you're the new tourism spokesperson for New Caledonia. That was her job before, and now,
Yeah.
there she is right there. You can see her. She's actually bowling for Egypt now, right?
Yes, she is. She has dual nationality. I think she possibly has Belgian nationality as well, because her father is Egyptian, her mother's Belgian.
Interesting.
And she lived in Belgium for quite a while, which is why she speaks French. And she speaks really good English. And she works as a travel agent, and she had a load of work recently. There was a hurricane or a tornado or something hit Vanuatu.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was a
And-
hurricane. that hit,
Yes,
I think.
and they had to move all of the planes from there to New Caledonia. So she is negotiating with everybody where they're going to put these planes.
Wow.
They fly them in and then they have to stack them somewhere at the end of the airport. And she was involved in all of the work for doing that, which was fantastic. But the hurricane didn't hit New Caledonia at all. Very isolated.
Yeah, New Caledonia is kind of in the South Pacific area.
Yeah, it's
How far of a flight from Australia is that?
It was about a 2.5-hour flight, so it's
not
not
bad.
that far.
Not bad.
It's definitely near South Pacific, but not, not like Fiji and places like that, which are further out. And it's French, and still is. They had a vote as to whether to become fully independent, and they've got another vote, I think, in a couple of years' time, because there are certain advantages to remaining part of a country that is part of the European Union.
Sure. So
All
they're
of
kind of
the
a
extra
territory
money,
now, right?
Yeah. All the extra money they get coming in because of that is, and then they saw what happened to Vanuatu, which had become independent, and it's relying on international aid and people's goodwill rather than being able to say to the government, help us out, will you? So I think they're now having second thoughts about becoming fully independent. We'll see.
Game 6 getting started. We're going to have Northern Ireland, Brazil, and Netherlands on 19 and 20. And on 21 and 22, Egypt, Puerto Rico, and our defending champion, Clara
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes, and she's in the lead at the moment, I think. I haven't seen the standings after the last game. But, what a superb player.
Yeah, she's played well, and she had a little bit of a slow start yesterday, had 160 the first game, but she has worked her way into the lead, and we have waiting for the update after 13 games here, which should be coming momentarily. And
Yes.
we'll let you know as soon as we get it.
And don't forget, she came runner-up when she was about 17 or something, when the Bowling World Cup was in Lisbon in 2000.
Wow.
Yeah, and last year was the first time she'd come back to the World Cup in those 15 years.
Yeah, I think Clara definitely one of the top bowlers in the world.
Yes. Yes.
Always a threat to win any competition that she enters. Let's see if we have the update yet. Not quite yet, but looks like it's updated on the screen here in the bowling center. We've had quite a few guests on the live streaming this week, and it's
Yes.
always fun to hear the different stories. I'm always curious to ask the bowlers, about bowling in their home country and what they do for a living, and
Yeah.
just to learn kind of the backstory off the lanes
Yes.
of what
There's
they're like.
some really interesting people. There's a guy here from Netherlands, who is a security officer at Schiphol International Airport.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then there's the girl from Catalonia. She's a policewoman.
Huh.
So, you know, she arrests them, I bang them up.
All right, updated stand. It looks like Shannon Plahowski has moved back into the lead at 28.46. Isabel Hilton of Sweden at 28.41. Clara Guerrero at 28.08. Sandra Gongora of Mexico is fourth at 28.01. And Siti Safai of Malaysia at 27.61 is fifth. So a little shake up in the standings there as Plahowski jumps back into the lead.
Almi isn't bowling so well this morning. She had a 158 game, didn't she?
Yeah, Almi's been kind of going the wrong direction today. She was the leader after yesterday. And, of course, Almi and Shannon are trying to make some history this week,
They
right?
are indeed, to become the first woman to win it 3 times. Pang Nepomuceno has won it 4 times in the men's section.
In 4 decades, right?
In 4 decades.
It's crazy.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then he played in Seoul the same time I played, and then he played in Malacca in 2010.
Yep.
And he didn't do so well there, but he was chosen as the sportsman of the tournament. So he's won everything you can possibly win in the Bowling World Cup.
In some regards, I think here at the World Cup, some of the bowlers value the Sportsman of the Year award more than the tournament trophy.
Yes.
Because realistically, there's a good percentage of the bowlers that really don't have a chance to necessarily win the tournament.
Yep.
They're here for the friendship and the camaraderie, and winning that sportsmanship award is just second to none. I remember last year when Shant won, and he was so excited.
Yes, Shunt was there waiting to take pictures of whoever won, and his name was announced, and he was absolutely gobsmacked. It was brilliant. I wish we'd got a photograph of that moment, because he was just, me?
You would have thought he hit the jackpot at the slot machine. But he won it last year. And
I remember him in Singapore. And I mean, as you say, he's not going to win the tournament, but he's just so keen. And in Singapore, for the first time ever, he had an all-closed game, and he went around telling everybody that he'd done this.
I think he had the front 9 or 10 in Krasnoyarsk a couple of years ago, and left a stubborn 10 pin. I think he had a 289 or a 279 or something like that. But it's just great to meet the different characters and people at this tournament. And
absolutely.
It's kind of like a family. There's a lot of bowlers who come back to this tournament. They happen to win every year and come back quite a bit. And there have been players who've gotten married because they've met fellow bowlers in this tournament,
and
right?
Marine, they met I think they met in Lisbon. And it took quite a few years before they realised it was more than just friendship, meeting up with the best of the French-speaking crowd. And then Marine moved to Belgium to be with her, and then they got married. I've seen all the wedding pictures, and they took me to the place where they got married, this lovely little resort on the south, what was called perhaps the South Seas, absolutely stunning. And so they're our first wedding. But the camaraderie you talk about is really fantastic, and partly it's because there's only one man and one woman from each country, so they really have to mix in with other people, otherwise you're just going to have a really boring week.
Yeah.
So everybody has breakfast together, or they go to the bar together afterwards, and so on, and there's a lot of friendships made. And when I met Sue Castle through bowling, that was 85, and she and I are still in contact. I still email her mother. I met up with her when I was in Australia. And, lifelong friendships.
And I remember the World Cup in Toulon, France, where the competition was disrupted by the roof kind of falling a little bit. And that turned out to be one of my favorite World Cups because everybody was at the same resort. We had fun each night. They had activities. We sang karaoke. Everybody had a good time.
Oh, yes, the karaoke.
Yes, off the lanes. It was great.
And they played Wii bowling, didn't they?
Yeah, Wii bowling, exactly.
That afternoon we couldn't actually have part of the tournament, so they played it on the Wii instead.
Yeah, it was great.
It was fantastic, that, yes.
Yeah, it's a great tournament. It's a very laid-back, fun tournament that also has an element of tough competition as well. So it's a great mix.
Yes, it is.
I would say that the World Cup is one of my favorite tournaments that I go to over the course of the year, which is a nice change of pace from some of the all-competition, all-the-time tournaments.
Yeah, certainly when I played, it was my favourite without a shadow of a doubt.
Hazel McCleary checking in the chat says, Judy, the Bowling World Cup has given so many people a chance to know so many bowlers around the world. Thanks for all your hard work. So Hazel checking in.
Hazel's lovely. Comes from Canada. I met, she came over to England because her daughter, wait a minute, let me get this right. Hazel will correct me if I'm wrong, but her daughter's husband was stationed with the Air Force in England for a while and lived not far from where I live. So she came over to visit, and we met up when she was in England. She's gonna text again now and say, no, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, well, we were talking about Hazel yesterday. Hazel's been watching the competition here for a couple of days, and wish that you were here joining us, Hazel. Of course, we miss seeing you. And
yes.
I'm sure that she's enjoying getting to spend some time at home relaxing and not on the road as much as she was before.
Oh, she travelled so much. Yes.
Speaking of traveling, I know you love to travel. How many countries have you been to? Do you count?
I did a count a couple of years ago because there was somebody else at work who had been to a lot, and so we were having a little competition to see who'd been to most. And I've been to about 65 countries, I think.
Pretty good.
Yes.
I would have guessed a little bit more, but
well, if
you're
count
still
England,
adding.
Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland as separate, then I can.
I would say yes.
Oh, well.
I would count them as separate.
Oh, well, some of the Scots want to be separate as
Yeah,
well.
yes. I remember seeing that last year. They had the big election or
That's
whatever.
right, a referendum as to whether they should be a separate independent country. And they voted no.
Yep.
But there were a lot of us in England who said, please go.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The good thing about bowling is we don't really have any politics. It's
No.
nice. And it was nice to see, I'm sure you noticed at the opening ceremonies that France got the loudest applause of anybody, which is nice to see.
Yes.
And, the sport really shines through even during tough times.
Absolutely, yeah. Everybody's supportive of the French, given what's happened in Paris. Absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, and you've got all the countries bowling alongside each other, and while the governments may have their differences with other countries, in bowling it's just bowling. We're just having fun and enjoying ourselves.
I remember we had a situation when the Arab countries will bowl and the Israeli players are here, but because they're not playing against each other on the same lanes, it's not a problem. But then when they reach the last 8, of course they do have to play head to head, so that was a bit of a difficulty. And then in Ljubljana in 2006, the boy from Saudi and the Israeli boy both made the stepladder.
Wow.
No, they made this. It wasn't a step ladder. It was semi-final, semi-final.
Okay.
That's right. And they had to play each other. That's just the way it worked out. So there were some negotiations about that, but they did. They actually played against each other, which was a real step forward.
And I'm sure that would happen in other sports as well. And these countries do compete in the Olympics together, but I'm sure it's pretty rare that they would actually advance. That it would all come together to make that happen, and in any sport. But it's always interesting. It's a fun tournament, and we've got 88 countries here this year. And what's the record for number of countries for the tournament? I think 90 something,
95,
maybe? 95,
I think, and that was in
Singapore.
Yeah.
I'm getting pretty good with the World Cup records, aren't I?
Yes. I keep all them and have to keep them updated, and sometimes I get it wrong. So if you're listening and I got yours wrong at some point, then apologies.
Yeah, just email her and she'll get it fixed.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Judy, well, thanks for sitting in. And if you find any more special guests that you want to bring over, feel free. And I'd love to hear some stories. And
we'll see what we can do.
Got about 2.5 games to go here on the women's squad, and the men will be coming up a little bit later on today. I would say in about 2.5 hours is when the men will be on the lanes for their second.
We have a break for about an hour and a half, isn't it, while they dress the lanes
and
the men get ready.
Yeah, the men will be on today and this afternoon, and then men are first thing in the morning tomorrow, and the women are in the afternoon. And
we're going to do some photographs after this squad. There are
oh, you are? Okay.
There are 4 players who are playing who've won the trophy before, but there are also 4 people here who are just spectating and who have won it before. So we're going to do a photograph with them as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw Herbert had a picture of the 4 from this morning of the 4 who have won the tournament who are competing.
Yes.
So pretty nice to see. It's, of course, Almi Gata and Shannon Plahowski who've won twice, and then Clara Guerrero, who is the defending champion, and then Carrie Ryan Kayak, who is from Canada, who won in 2003, I think, something like that.
3, yes. And she played Shannon in the final then, and she won.
Yeah.
And the next year they played against each other in the final again.
And Shannon won,
Shannon won.
Yeah, it was Shannon Pulahowski won in 2002 and 2004, and Shannon Pulahowski finished second in 2003 when she lost to Carrie Ryan Kayak. All right, Judy, thanks for sitting in, and feel free to stop by later with some guests,
yes, we'll
and we'll see you later.
Yep, thanks, Lucas.
All right, Judy Howlett,
Bye.
thank you. Halfway through Game 6 here, women's qualifying round 2 at the World Cup. Game 7 and Games 8 coming up. Close out the second round, and then the men will be on the lanes at 1 p.m. here in Las Vegas. If you'd like to follow the online scoring and track the progress of a player who's not on our featured pairs, there is live scoring available at QubicaAMF.com. Click on the World Cup button at the top of the page, and then you'll find the link on there to the live scoring. Or if you want to find it directly, you can go to onlinescore.QubicaAMF.com/World Cup. That'll take you to the live scoring. Again, that's onlinescore.QubicaAMF.com/World Cup.
Hon spelar mycket tajtare linje än vad du gör normalt sett, men inte det så.
Just finishing up game number 6. We have 2 more games to go here in round 2. Claire Guerrero can get to 203 this game. Leaves a 9-pin on that shot, so 183 now her max score this game. right, game 7 getting started. We have Slovakia, France, and Hungary on 19 and 20. And 21 and 22, Sweden and Panama. Waiting on the updated standings to come in. They should be in shortly here. Give the update as soon as we have it. As we are in game number 7 of 8 here in round 2 for the women. So we're nearing the close of the second round of qualifying for the women, and the second round for the men will get underway in a little bit more than 2 hours from now at 1 p.m. Pacific time here in Las Vegas. All right, updated standings in now, and we have a new leader, and she happens to be on our featured pairs. Isabel Holton of Sweden, now your leader at 1375. I'm sorry, at 3086. I looked at the wrong column. She leads Shannon Plahowski of the United States by just 5 pins. Plahowski sitting at 3081. Last game, Holton with 245, Plahowski 235. Third place now, Sandra Gongora of Mexico. She had 222 last game and sits at 30-23, about 63 pins off the lead. Clara Guerrero of Colombia. We saw her bowl 183 last game, and it costs her a bit as she drops down to 4th place at 29.91. Siti Safaya of Malaysia is in 5th place at 29.69. Masaki Mukatani of Japan at 29.68. Amigata of the Dominican Republic is 7th at 29.20. Nuki Ung of Hong Kong sitting in 8th place at 28.99. Geraldine Ung of Singapore is in 9th at 28.91. And 10th place belongs to Maria Bolanova of Russia at 28.89. And with 14 games completed and 10 more to go, our cut position is of course 24th, and that is Camilla Dahmers of Aruba at 26.81, a 191.5 average. Sitting just outside the number is Olena Roshenko of Ukraine at 26.79, just 2 pins back. 26th place is Edith Quintanilla of El Salvador at 26.65, and Cristina Sands of Catalonia at 26.55 is just a few pins back of 24th as well. So it'll be an interesting finish tomorrow as to who makes the top 24. There'll be a lot of bowlers in the mix going into the last few games, I think. So it'll be a very entertaining final game tomorrow in round 3 qualifying as we'll make our first cut tomorrow in both the men's and the women's divisions. Tournament leader struggling a little bit here. I think it's the first time this week that Isabel Holton has been in the lead. And it may be short-lived. A lot of games left, though. But the Swede spare strike open, and a tough spare here on lane 21 with the bucket and the side dish. Back-to-back opens for Sweden. 64 in the fifth. Well, Holton finally put the ball in the pocket, left the 10 pin, converts the spare. She tries to turn things around here in the back half of game 7. Less than a game and a half to go here in round 2. No cut made today. We won't do that until tomorrow when we cut to the top 24 in both divisions. The struggle continues for our tournament leader. It's almost certainly she will drop out of that spot after this game. So her stint above at the top of the leaderboard will be short-lived. As Isabel Holton only 90 in the 7th frame this game. Even if she strikes out, she can only get to 180. That's a good shot. Gets a strike, finally. Had a strike in the 2nd. That's her 2nd strike of the game. Holton with the baby split conversion. Now looking at a max score of 160 going into the 10th frame. Got one more game left here this morning in the women's 2nd round of competition. And the men coming up in 2 hours right here on Bold TV. If you're unfamiliar with the World Cup, the QubicaAMF World Cup celebrating its 51st anniversary this year. It's one of the most prestigious singles titles you can win in bowling on the international level. It draws bowlers from 88 countries this year. The record's 95. And there is no other event in the sport of bowling that draws as many countries as the World Cup does. It's again 88 countries. Every area of the globe, including North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, all of the continents represented in this tournament each year. So it's a big tournament. It's a very interesting tournament. It's very different than most tournaments. But it's a lot of fun. It's enjoyable. It's pretty competitive as well. Once we get down to the round of 8, the stepladder finals on Thursday, you're going to see the intensity and that drive to win out of our top players here this week at the World Cup. All of these players are champions in their own countries. They've won qualifying tournaments to be here. For example, in the United States, the qualifying tournament for the World Cup is the Team USA Trials, which was won back in January by Cameron Doyle and Shannon Pluhowski, and that's how they ended up here. Only 148 for our tournament leader, Isabel Holton of Sweden, as she's going to drop down the standings and out of that top spot. And I would guess she'll drop a few spots in the standings after game 15 results come out in just a few minutes. Well, 24 games of qualifying this week before the first cut is made. We'll make that cut tomorrow for the men and the women. And then bowl another 8 games for the round of 24 on Wednesday. Cut to the top 8. And Thursday morning we'll bowl the round of 8 match play and the stepladder finals for the top 3. So pretty easy to follow format here this week. And we'll have live coverage for you of all of it here on Bowl TV. Jacques from France with another strike 3 in a row can get to 194. Had a little bit of a rough start to this game. A lot of single pins, missed a couple, had a split for an open. And trying to save this game with a 194. All right, final game getting started. We've got Mexico, Jordan, and Italy on 19 and 20. Virgin Islands, Switzerland, and Belgium on 21 and 22 to close out the second round.
Should be 8 instead of 7? Or do you need a pin respot? Respot at the 6?
All right, standings updated after game number 7 today, which is our 15th game overall. And Shannon Plahowski of the United States is back in the top spot, 32.76. Second place belongs to Clara Guerrero, the defending champion of Colombia, 32.47. Sandy Gongora of Mexico, who joins us on our featured pairs this game, 32.44. She's in third place. Fourth place is a tie, Siti Safaya of Malaysia and Isabel Hulton of Sweden at 32.34. And sixth place, Misaki Mukatani of Japan at 31.88. Seventh place, Maria Bolanova of Russia, 31.15. Eighth place is Milky Ung of Hong Kong, 31.14. And Almi Getta is in ninth place from the Dominican Republic at 31.13. Sanna Passanen of Finland rounds out the top 10 at 31.03. 24th place, currently Camilla Dahmers of Aruba, 192 average, 28.80 for 15 games. As we're moving into our final game here, with our men coming up in about an hour and 45 minutes here on Bowl TV. Actually, my mistake. 24th place is actually Olena Roshenko of the Ukraine at 29.03. Camilla Dahmers is 25th. I think I said that incorrectly a moment ago. See Leon in the chat looking for a link to the standings. Go to QubicaAMF.com and click the Bowling World Cup icon at the top of the page, the button. You'll see it in red. That'll take you to the World Cup page where you'll find all the information on this event, including the results, lane condition information, online scoring, etc. Also be sure to follow the QubicaAMF World Cup page on Facebook. You can just search for QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup, and it should come up. And on Twitter, at Bowling World Cup. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Lucas_Wiseman. Gregora with a crossover strike in the fourth. A little bit of a rough start to this game for Sandy. She's had a pretty decent day. Has moved up near the top of the standings throughout the day today. Here's Sandy's games today. 224, 252, 195, 247, 218, 222, and 221. So it's been a spectacular day for Sandy Gregora. In fact, that is the highest total of anybody today. 5 pins higher than what Shannon Plahowski has bowled today. And that is why Gregora has moved so high up the standings, all the way up to third place. She bowled well yesterday, but she's made the big move today. Been trying to close it out with a good game, another good game to really solidify herself among the top 3 going into tomorrow. Tanya Kuva of Switzerland with the triple. Good start to this game for her, strike spare triple. And Sandy with a much better shot that time around, gets the strike for the double. Just a few more frames to go here to close out round 2 for the women. Men start in about 90 minutes, so about an hour and a half from now is when we will be firing up the live streaming for the second round of the men's competition. They will also bowl 8 games this afternoon. The women, meanwhile, they will be back tomorrow afternoon for their final round before we make our first cut. The women bowl tomorrow at 1:30 Pacific time here in Las Vegas.
I'm just in 20.
So hot. The bowling is so well, I'm not sure you can hear it over the live stream, but some sort of an alarm is going off on the low end of the bowling center. It sounds like maybe an emergency exit door alarm or a fire alarm or something. So, not sure what it is, but we're just about done with this squad anyway, so it looks like it's not too loud that it's causing any problems for the bowlers, but you can definitely hear it in the background. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but I'm sure they'll get it sorted out. And just like that, it's over. The alarm is off now, so that's good. Gora with a double. She can get to 236 this game. Been a great day for Sandy. She has the top individual, the top scorer for the round today, which has helped move her into third place. Looks like Maria Bolanova of Russia is making a big run here in this final game. She's going to bowl in the 270s, looks like 279, down on 15 and 16, and she was in 7th place. So I think that's going to help her quite a bit. She was 63 pins out of 6, so certainly it's going to narrow that gap considerably. Gongora is going to be at 215 with a strike on her final ball. just finishing up our 10th frame here to close out the second round of qualifying in this year's World Cup. You'll be able to find all the final standings at QubicaAMF.com. Click on the red button at the top of the page for the World Cup, and that'll take you to the home page for this year's tournament. Final standings will be posted there shortly after we finish up here this game. Anyukova of Switzerland can finish it out in style here. She can get to 236 with 3 strikes in this final frame. Yeah, looks like she'll have to settle for 216 with the spare and a strike. We'll be back in about an hour and 20 minutes with men's round 2 here on Bowl TV. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in a little bit here. Back live on Bowl TV in about 80 minutes.